All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Echak. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops at Great Millstone. I'm your brother, Rabbi Knapp, coming out with a lesson, Lord's will. This is edifying to the Lord's elect. I found this online. It says, when a video doorbell becomes surveillance, Amazon's Ring just crossed the privacy line. So I don't want to play any videos because I got some strikes, so I'm not sure what the hell they've been striking me on the dumbest shit. So I'm just gonna share this article. But there's a commercial with Amazon where they're basically, I think it's in this. I want to play it, but I don't know if they'll strike me for it. But in the commercial, they as a matter of fact, can I play it without using any volume? So they're saying with these lost dogs, right, that they're trying to make it like they can activate all these cameras and shit to look for the lost dog. But come on, man, that's like surveillance state. Yeah, we want to do it so we can help, lost animals. There's so many lost dogs every year, and Amazon just wants to help out with these dogs, blah, 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 blah. But it's called, I don't even trust these cameras. I got these cameras, man, and I honestly, the whole, I don't even use them because I felt like they were watching me, like through the ring. So it's like you purchasing for you to be surveillanced by some other third party. But I'm gonna read the article anyways. Feel free to watch the video. It says, when a video doorbell becomes surveillance, Amazon's Ring just crossed the privacy line. Privacy doesn't disappear overnight. It erodes through friendly Super Bowl commercials and soft language. I guess it was a Super Bowl commercial. When a video doorbell becomes surveillance, Amazon's Ring just crossed the privacy line. It says a feel-good Lost Dog Super Bowl commercial reveals how comfortable Ring has become, implying access to private video feeds. Ring just ran this feel-good commercial about reuniting lost dogs with their owners during the Super Bowl this year. You've probably seen it or something like it. A worried family, a missing pet, neighbors checking their Ring footage, everyone coming together. The dog gets found, tears of joy, real heartwarming stuff. Exactly the kind of story Silicon Valley loves to tell about itself. Technology bringing communities together, making the world a little bit better, one doorbell camera at a time. So, it sounds like, that's Esau trying to give you, showing you what he's trying to do, man. He's trying to make this a damn surveillance state in the guise of trying to help you out. Except there's a problem. Actually, there's a massive problem that the entire ad glosses over with the layer of emotional manipulation so thick you could spread it on toast. How does Ring know what's happening at my front door? Because that's what the ad implies, not subtly, not theoretically. The whole narrative depends on it. Ring, owned by Amazon, let's not forget, is positioning itself as an active participant in identifying, tracking, and surfacing events captured by private doorbell cameras. They're not just providing the hardware anymore. They're suggesting they can see what's on it, analyze it, and use it for purposes beyond what you explicitly intended when you installed the thing. And once you say it out loud like that, once you put it in a Super Bowl commercial or YouTube pre-roll, you can't take it back. And that's the weird thing about it. It's like Esau's so good at, he makes slavery look so good. You'll purchase your own tools to enslave yourself. He's having you buy it for yourself. I got that same brand. No, it's not. I got a different brand. It kind of looks like that, but I don't even use them damn cameras. I don't even care anymore. The more paranoid you get, the more leverage you give to this devil. This isn't about paranoia, even though it don't matter. He's looking at you through your screen, through your TV, even when it's off, your phones. You know, people don't think this is how slick he is. It's like you don't think he got that capability, and he's been at it. This isn't about paranoia. I'm not saying Amazon employees are sitting in some dystopian control room watching your porch in real time, eating popcorn while you bring in the groceries. That's the lazy rebuttal people reach for when you bring this stuff up, and it completely misses the point. The issue isn't how Ring does it. The issue isn't whether there's a human being actively watching or whether it's all automated through machine learning models that can identify dogs, cars, and packages. That's another thing. You know, certain recognition of dogs, and how are you doing that? And the people with terrifying accuracy. The issue is that Ring felt comfortable implying access at all, that they built an entire marketing campaign around the premise that footage from your private security camera could somehow be leveraged to solve community problems. I'm calling it out now. That's crazy, man. You know, people are, I was watching online, people are, you know, we already know these things ain't nothing to be scared about, but, you know, for those of you who don't know about prophecy, this is all linking to, this all has to do with the MOTB. It all has to do with, you know, him having this martial law and creating this, pretty much locking you up in your own communities to bring in that totalitarian, you know, those draconian measures. Okay, all this can be, everything's gonna be used against you. You know, putting curfews and facial recognition, biometrics. You know, all of these things are gonna come because he got a short time left, man. So he's about to come down with great wrath. He's about to turn it up, and you got to be ready for all this type of stuff. And anytime he's doing something, hey, I'm blowing the alarm on it, man. Okay. Let me grab this in the book of 2 Peter. 2 Peter 5 and 8. No, 2 Peter. I'm bugging. I can't even remember. Is it 2 Peter 3 and 8? Nah, I'm bugging. I can't remember where it's at. Your adversary, the devil. 1 Peter 5 and 8. I'm like, there's no 5 here. 1 Peter 5 verse 8. It says, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil as a roaring lion walketh about seeking whom he may devour. Okay, well, you know, you always got to be aware of how he's going to destroy you, but actually I'm thinking about, it's locking, my mind's all over the place. We're not, we are not ignorant of Satan's devices. That's what I meant to grab. 2 Corinthians 2 and 11, yeah. We're not ignorant of Satan's devices, man. You know, for some people will watch that commercial and literally think, I need that. Yeah, I don't feel safe. You know, these immigrants, man, you know, I just need some camera footage that in case my dog runs down the street, I can just type it into this app, and then all the cameras will be working together to help find my dog, and then the police don't even need to come. We can just you know, find him via the cameras. 2 Corinthians 2 and 11 in the KJV, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So this is a device of Satan that he's going to use against pretty much everyone in society. When Jacob's trouble comes to pass, he's going to be using this against you, man. The fact that this is like an unrighteous decree, he's going to start using this technology against your own will to pretty much come up against your laws. This breaks all types of constitutional rights, but ain't going to be any of that. This is what I mean by going into those draconian measures. But let's see how they break this down. In order that Satan should not outwit us, this phrase highlights the Apostle Paul's awareness of spiritual warfare and the need for vigilance against the devil's tactics. Let's look at this word, vigilance. The action or state of keeping careful watch for possible danger or difficulties. So you got to stay on your watch, man. Against the devil's tactics. In the broader context of 2 Corinthians, Paul is addressing the issue of forgiveness and reconciliation within the church. By forgiving the restoring and repentant sinner, the church prevents Satan from exploiting the situation to sow discord and division. The concept of Satan as a deceiver is consistent throughout Scripture, as seen in Genesis 3:1-5, where he deceives Eve, and in 1 Peter 5:8, which is your adversary, the devil, seeking whom he may devour. And most of the time, he's getting you with lies. He's getting you with a little bit of leaven, slowly getting you to just give up your faith. And you got to be aware of these things. Where believers are warned to be sober-minded and watchful because the devil prowls like a roaring lion. The term outwit suggests a strategic battle, emphasizing the need for spiritual discernment and unity in the body of a Mashiach to resist the devil's scheme. So if you ain't in this truth, man, you're fucked, man. Because you're probably walking around like a damn airhead thinking everything's cool, and it's not. Especially you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. You guys are the dumbest nation down here on earth. Especially 2/3 of you. All right? Because you're like a lamb, you're easily they can trick you easily. They've been hitting you with the same shit over and over again. If the Lord didn't give us the spirit, man, we would have been just like that. So once you have the spirit, man, you got to keep it. The spirit should be constantly navigating you to these things. You miss something and you won't even see what the hell's going on anymore. And the more you watch, the better. It's like your vision gets like more keen. Like your eyes are just find what you're looking for. For we are not unaware of his schemes. Paul asserts the importance of being knowledgeable about the enemy's strategies. The Greek word schemes, nomata, implies cunning plans or thoughts, and that's a cunning plan of thought. First of all, he put it on the Super Bowl, so he was able to see billions of, I don't even know how many people watched the Super Bowl. Let's find that out. How many people watched the Super Bowl this year? 124.9 million. I don't even remember seeing that. I watched the Super Bowl. But he's putting all these Super Bowl commercials, and he's communicating with his ideas. He's not wasting any time when it comes to his schemes. Everyone's, he got you in a Super Bowl, you're getting drunk probably, you at a bar, you ain't really paying attention. And then when the shit happens, you're like, it's going to seem like it came out of nowhere, but that's why the Lord told you to be sober and be vigilant. Doesn't mean be sober where you can't drink alcohol, but it also means, you don't, if you're drunk, it's not being watchful. If you in the world, that's not being watchful. Being sober-minded meaning not being in the world. So you got to be occupied. You can't have one foot in, and if you don't believe, then you're going to be taken away with the flood of lies and bullshit that's out there. Okay, it says, indicating that Satan's methods are often subtle and deceptive. Okay, putting in a Super Bowl commercials and basically feeling that's good enough. I told 129 million people. If you didn't hear it, that's on you. That's how this devil thinks. This awareness is crucial for the church to stand firm against spiritual attacks. Ephesians 6:11-12 further elaborates on this by urging believers to put on the full armor of God to stand against the devil's schemes, highlighting the spiritual nature of the battle. Historically, the early church faced numerous challenges, both internal and external, and Paul's letters often address these issues to strengthen and guide the believers. Understanding Satan's schemes involves recognizing his attempts to undermine faith, promote false teachings, and create disunity. This knowledge equips Christians to remain steadfast in their faith and to support one another in love and truth. And this is a form of love by blowing that trumpet when you, what's the point of, if you know it, say something, man. Let's see what else this is talking about, man. It says a doorbell camera is sold as a private security device. You buy it to see who's at your door, to catch porch pirates, to have evidence if something happens. It's supposed to serve the homeowner, nobody else. It's your camera, your footage, your property. The second a company starts framing that footage as something useful for broader community purposes, as a resource that can be tapped into when needed, the boundary's already been crossed. You don't get to quietly reclassify private surveillance as a public resource and expect nobody to notice. You don't get to turn my security camera into your neighborhood watch program without asking. And hey, he kind of told you what he's going to do. You don't have any rights here. Let me grab this in the book of Revelation 13. And I think 10. Revelation, maybe it might be 11. Revelation. It's 12. Revelation 13. And I think it's 11. Yeah, Revelation 13 and 11 in the KJV. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. So the beast is a reference to the Roman Empire. Okay, and America's like Rome 2.0. And the two horns like a lamb is symbolic of the Democrat and Republican Party. Just like in ancient Rome when they had the plebeians and the patricians. And he spake as a dragon. Okay, the dragon is going into his draconian laws. Okay, which is some very harsh laws that are going to that he's going to implement, just like him violating your constitutional rights. As you're already seeing that, you know, when he first started, he was deporting people without giving them any representation in the courtroom. He's trying to bypass that. He's trying to hurry up and get, because he got short time left. He don't got time to bring everyone to court and prove, you know, that you did this and he did that. Nah, he wants to break all the laws, set up detention centers, lock your ass up. Whoever's against them, he gonna lock their ass up too. Okay, he about to violate all your laws. That's going into that two horns like a lamb and him speaking as a dragon. Okay, when he starts implementing these unrighteous decrees. Okay, it says, then I saw another beast rising out of the earth. This phrase introduces a second beast distinct from the first beast that rises from the sea. The earth, in biblical symbolism, often represents stability and order, contrasting with the chaotic sea. This beast's emergence from the earth may suggest a more subtle and deceptive nature. In the context of Revelation, beasts symbolize political and religious powers. The imagery of a beast rising indicates the emergence of a new power or influence. The beast is often interpreted as the false prophet, a figure that supports the first beast and deceives humanity. The earth's mention may also imply a connection to humanity or earthly systems, contrasting with divine or heavenly origins. So it doesn't know what it's talking about. Okay. Yeah, it don't know what it's talking about. All right. But you're going to start to see those draconian measures. Because when you look at that word dragon, it goes Draco. All right. And if you know about Athens, Greece, and the Draco's law, he'll tell you that he don't know what it said, but he knows what it says. It's a full power over to the elites, and they can do whatever the hell they want, and they'll use the military like ICE to go put you to death if you disagree with them. And that's what you see in the beginnings of, especially with these surveillance state in all of this bull crap right here. The slippery part isn't the tech, it's the normalization. Ring will say this is automated or in non I can't even say this word. Let me look it up. Let them say it. Anonymized, especially of medical test results having had identifying particulars or details removed. I don't know why I can't play it. So details removed or opt-in or AI-powered or protected by ironclad privacy policies reviewed by teams of lawyers who went to very expensive schools. Fine, maybe all of that's true. Maybe every technical detail checks out. Maybe they've got frameworks and protocols and oversight committees. But here's the uncomfortable reality that tech companies never want to acknowledge. Normalization always comes before expansion. Always. You start with something innocuous, something nobody could possibly object to. You get people used to the idea, you make it feel normal, even good, then you expand the scope. Then you expand it again and again, and by the time anyone thinks to push back, the infrastructure is already built, the president is already set, and you're the paranoid weirdo standing in the way of progress. Exactly. Going into, I forgot how you call it when you slowly implement things. You know, just like with the jab shot. You don't right now. He used the jab shot so he can set up the infrastructure for another one, for another pandemic, so he can hit you with this digital infrastructure. Okay, and he's rolling it out slowly but surely. Today it's a lost dog. Who could object to finding a lost dog? Tomorrow it's suspicious activity in the neighborhood. Then it's public safety insights shared with local municipalities. Then it's formal law enforcement partnerships where cops can request footage without a warrant. Then it's behavior modeling and pattern recognition and predictive analytics about who comes and goes and when. And that matches up with 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter. Who comes and goes and when. I could have grabbed this other app. 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter. Man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Start at 14, 2nd Esdras 15, verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, in the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And the thing is, the funny part about this, you would think if people had a brain, they would probably would have already did this before the infrastructure gets in place. But people are dumb. They're going to do it when it's too late. And just like what was going on in Minnesota, the Ducks sent Tom Homan over there, and now we ain't really hearing any news about ICE. Okay? He kind of toned it down a lot. So now you're not, after there was 2 murders over there, now it's nice and quiet. They're doing roadblocks. Now they're just letting them do whatever the hell they want. You know? But actually, some dude just got caught. No, where is it? Some dude just got caught. ICE background check, goon busted in sex trafficking sting. So a damn ICE agent got bagged in a sex trafficking sting. A federal employee responsible for conducting background checks on immigration and basically ICE enforcement agents was arrested in a sex trafficking sting. So he's responsible for doing your background check. So imagine how many pieces of shit are in there if he's involved in sex trafficking and he's doing other people's background checks. And the people in your government's everyone's being accused of being with this Epstein bullshit. The nigga Lutnick, it was even on the list. He made the list today, talking about he went up there for an hour, brought his family up there and shit. And he's right. He sits right next to the president. He be on the G7 with him. He be answering questions, laughing and joking. President's on the damn Epstein's. Everyone's on that shit. And then he's backing them up. You know. So these days that we're coming into, man, you ain't gonna be safe if you ain't got the Lord. Okay, the Lord's setting up some evil, some wickedness that's gonna or I should say evil for these last days. If you ain't right with the Lord, man, you about to see his wrath. He's not playing with 2/3 of the nation of Israel. He's not playing with the heathen. He ain't playing with no Edomites. He ain't playing with nobody. You break these laws, he got something for you. All right. It says he was arrested in a sex trafficking sting. According to local reports, Department of Defense contractor Brashad Johnson, 36, was reportedly one of the 30 suspects arrested in an undercover operation in Minnesota, targeting people allegedly attempting to pay for sex. This is the most disturbing arrest that we've had here. Booker Hodges, police chief of Bloomington, Minnesota, said of Johnson's arrest, he is a backgrounder for ICE, Homeland Security, and federal agencies. So when you're getting your security clearance, this is one of the guys that does your backgrounds, which is kind of scary. That's very scary. So anybody that want to come up in there, he letting them in. He letting them in, man. So that goes to show you, you know, it's gonna get to a point where people are gonna fight up against they're not going to regard their kings nor princes. 2 Esdras 15, verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. So things like this, man. You know, you step out of that zone, and who knows, you might be met with force. You know, what are you doing in this area? You know, a complete surveillance state, man. Jacob's trouble's no joke, man. And we're starting to see it play out. It says, oh wait, we've already done that last one. Ring already has partnerships with hundreds of police departments across the country. This isn't speculation. This isn't a slippery slope fallacy. This is documented reality. The slope has already been slipped down. We're just arguing about how far. Everything's almost in place. Okay. Everything's almost in place. And he's trying to give ICE body cameras. I wouldn't be surprised if they have facial recognition. It's all by design, man. Oh, no, we should put body cameras on ICE and things like that. The whole time they wanted you to say that so they can probably give them the latest tech. It says Amazon changes everything. And look, this isn't some scrappy startup with good intentions and bad foresight. This isn't a couple of Stanford dropouts who didn't think through the implications of their brilliant idea. This is Amazon. Let that sink in for a second. Let that sink in for a second. A company whose entire business model is data aggregation at planetary scale. A company that doesn't just collect information, it connects it across platforms, across devices, across every interaction you have with their ecosystem. So that's deep, man. You know, this ain't a joke, man. Then you got a billionaire tech. I don't know if he's on the Epstein list, but he probably is. All those damn Edomites, man. So they ain't using no technology to benefit anybody, man. It's to put you in slavery. They know what you buy. They know what you watch. They know what you ask Alexa. You don't want to be surprised you walk by a building and Alexa start talking to you. Like, oh, what you doing over here? They know what's in your shopping cart, what's on your wish list, what you searched for but didn't buy. They have your purchasing patterns, your location data, your voice recordings, your viewing habits, your reading preferences. They build models of you so accurate it's genuinely unsettling. That's right. He's always watching, man. Scriptures talk about how he does a diligent search. Let's grab that. That's Esau for you. Yeah. Psalm 64:6. Let's grab that in the blue letter. He does a diligent search. He's trying to search out your iniquities. And we all sin, so he got dirt on everybody. Psalm 64:6. They devise iniquities. We have perfected. No, that's the new King James Version, KJV. They search out iniquities. Iniquity is sin. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them in the heart is deep. Let's look at something else. NLT. As they plot their crimes, they say, what have devised the perfect plan? Yes, the human heart and mind are cunning. That's not good. Let's go down. Let's see what it says. They devise injustice and say. Yeah, they devise injustice and say. This phrase highlights the intentional and premeditated nature of the wicked actions being described in biblical context. Devising injustice is often associated with the actions of those who oppose God's righteous order. The Hebrew word for devise suggests calculated and deliberate plotting, similar to the schemes of the wicked that described in Proverbs 6 and 16 through 19. That's talking about the abominations. It's talking about Esau, but I'll grab it. Proverbs chapter 6 and 16. These 6 things doth the Lord hate, yea, 7 are an abomination unto him: a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and him that soweth discord among brethren. And that's Esau. He's a complete abomination. Where God lists things he hates, including a heart that devises wicked schemes. This reflects the moral corruption prevalent in societies that turn away from divine law, as seen in the narratives of Israel's history when leaders and people alike engaged in idolatry and oppression. So the Lord ain't dealing with them, man. He engages in idolatry and oppression. We have perfected a secret plan. The notion of a secret plan indicates a level of cunning and deceit. In the ancient Near Eastern context, secrecy and plans often involve conspiracies against rulers or the righteous, as seen in the story of Absalom's conspiracy against King David. In 2 Samuel 15, the idea of perfecting such a plan suggests a false sense of security and pride in their own wisdom, reminiscent of the Tower of Babel narrative in Genesis 11, where human pride led to divine judgment. This phrase also echoes the futility of human schemes against God's sovereign will, as seen in Psalm 2:1-4, where the nations conspire in vain against the Lord and his anointed. That's right. I mean, all of this is in vain because it's not going to prosper. Okay, the Lord's going to lift up a standard, we know according to the Bible, but it's still going to play out. You still got to go through it. For the inner man and the heart are mysterious. This phrase underscores the complexity and the depth of human nature. Biblically, the inner man and the heart refer to the core of a person's being, encompassing thoughts, emotions, and will. Jeremiah 17:9 states that the heart is deceitful above all things and beyond cure. Who can understand it? This highlights the inscrutability and potential for evil within the human heart, which only God can truly know and judge. The mystery of the heart also points to the need for divine transformation as seen in Ezekiel 36 and 26, where God promises to give a new heart and spirit in the New Testament. This transformation is fulfilled in a Mashiach who offers renewal and understanding through the Holy Spirit. Well, him devising iniquity and doing a diligent search is showing you that he goes out of his way to bring up dirt upon you. Okay? He goes out of his way to do some form of wickedness. So you can't trust this devil, man. I want to read a little bit more. It says a company whose entire business, I read that, they know what's in your shopping cart. I read that. It says when Amazon owns the camera on your front door, context matters. When the same company that knows you bought dog food, anxiety medication, and a book about divorce also has a camera pointed at everyone who enters and leaves your house, the math changes entirely. The potential for correlation, for inference. What's inference mean? A conclusion reached on the basis of evidence and reasoning. Like some Minority Report shit, for building comprehensive profiles of people's lives becomes almost unlimited. And you know what? There was some, was there some UK litigation where it said they can arrest you before you commit a crime, like the movie Minority Report? Where there hasn't been a single landmark UK legal ruling explicitly authorizing Minority Report style pre-crime arrests. The UK has developed, tested, and utilized AI-driven predictive policing tools and pre-crime tactics. These systems, including homicide prediction projects and hotspot algorithms, are designed to identify potential criminals before they strike, raising significant ethical concerns about potential misidentification bias and the presumption of innocence. So I forgot where exactly that news is on it, but I was just happened. It's all this craziest shit. It's already been, there's some form of laws or something. It's being talked about. That's the best I can say. But there's so much going on simultaneously. It's hard to keep up with all this stuff. But it sounds like that's the type of math he would try to do. Okay, and when that same company starts running commercials suggesting they can help find things using footage from those cameras, people are absolutely right to ask who's looking. Who decides what's worth looking for? Under what circumstances does my private footage become available? What's the process? What are the safeguards? What happens to that data afterward? Where does it go? How long is it kept? Who else gets access? And what happens next after we've all accepted this as normal? This is how privacy actually dies. So ultimately, this is how your rights get taken away. Not through lawsuits, not through congressional hearings, not through dramatic data breaches that make the front page of the New York Times. Those things matter, but they're not how privacy actually erodes in practice. Privacy dies through friendly commercials and soft language and emotional manipulation, through ads specifically designed to make you feel bad for questioning them, through narratives that position surveillance as community, monitoring as safety, data collection as service. It dies through the slow accumulation of small concessions, each one justified by convenience or security or helping find a lost dog. Yo, man. Yeah, this is beautiful, man. So the Lord is about to shut this place down. I don't know how else. If you people don't see it, man, I don't know what to say to you. I'm thinking of a precept in Ecclesiasticus. By little and little. KJV. Ecclesiasticus. Ecclesiasticus 19:1. A laboring man that a that is given to drunkenness shall not be rich, and he that contemneth small things shall fall by little and little. Let's look this up. Ecclesiasticus 19 warns that a worker who indulges in drunkenness will never become rich, and neglecting small responsibilities leads to gradual sin. Yeah, so there's a gradual inevitability of you commit sin when you don't have self-discipline, pretty much. But the same thing applies to, not paying attention to things that are going on with people doing things. How can I put this? The same way, if you don't check yourself, it'll eventually, you keep transgressing the law little by little, it'll lead to you going astray. It's the same way that your government is doing that to keep you to go astray. If you don't acknowledge it or see it, it can overthrow you. So it's like having that self discipline. Is the same thing that they're using against you. That's what they're coming up against. They're using commercials and things like that kind of chip away at, making it look nice, to kind of do it subtly to you. Okay, and if you don't have the eye salve to see it, man, it's gonna overthrow you. But that precept's pretty much talking about you having self-discipline, not allowing, you might drink sometimes, but then you drink too much and now you're going off now. Now you're a damn drunkard. You can't even put the bottle down. That's just one example. Or you messing with women too much. I think if you keep going, it goes into that. I don't know, that precept popped in my head. Ecclesiasticus 19 verse 2, wine and women will make men of understanding to fall away, and he that cleaveth to harlots will become impudent. So it's giving you examples. Moths and worms shall have him to heritage, and a bold man shall be taken away. He that is hasty to give credit is light-minded, and he that sinneth shall offend against his own soul. So, you don't want to fall little by little, man. You want to have that self-discipline, but I was trying to see if it applied to how Esau is pretty much chipping away at your rights and your, your life. Trying to put you into slavery, man. And it's important that you repent now, or he gonna get the chance to overthrow you. It says, each one justified by convenience or security or help him find a lost dog. And it tells you in the book of Matthew 24. That he would have been able to deceive the very elect. Who's that precept at? Yeah, Matthew 24 and 24. For there shall arise false Hamashiachs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. But they can't deceive the elect because the elect are watching. Okay? They're watching, man. They understand the prophecies. They're looking for to see which way the enemy's coming. Why wouldn't you want to help? Don't you care about your neighbors? Don't you want to live in a safe community? What are you trying to hide? Right. Give us more of your rights. You hiding something? Majority of you, no, I'm not hiding anything. And then he will use all of that to charge you with a crime that he thinks you predictively were gonna commit. You know, so this devil, man. But he got a short time left. This dude, he's just out of his damn mind because I didn't buy a neighborhood surveillance device. And just like what he did with the jab shot, don't you want the community? Don't you want to get back to normal? Don't you want to, be next to your grandmama? And the nigga hit you with a whole abomination, man. But people getting tired. I'm tired of this damn devil, man. Tired of this dude, man. He's full of shit. And the more the Lord give you the spirit, the more you just see more and more of this bullshit. Because I didn't buy a neighborhood surveillance device, I bought a doorbell. I bought a tool to serve my needs, not to participate in a distributed monitoring network. I didn't sign up to be a node in Amazon's data collection infrastructure. I didn't agree to let my front porch become a camera in someone else's security apparatus, even if that someone is my own HOA or police department. Final thought, Ring didn't reveal some shocking new capability in this commercial. The technology has been there for years. The partnerships have been in place. The data has been flowing. None of that is news. What it revealed was something more important, how comfortable the company has become reframing your private space as something it can leverage. And that's wicked, man. That's one thing you won't have in a wicked society. It's privacy. Anything that's holy, he has to defile it. Okay? Anything, having your peace, he's here to take peace from the earth, some privacy that allows you to have some form of peace. He don't like that. Okay? He wants to be like the Most High. Because the Most High, he sees everything. So Esau wants to be like that. But he can't be because he's a stupid man, just a base man. The Lord gave him pride and make him think like that. And this pride that's on the highest level is going to cause for him to have the greatest fall. So all praises to the Lord. Destroy his ass. What it revealed was something more important, how comfortable, I just read that, how certain it is that the emotional appeal, think of the dogs. Think of the children. And like how he says the dogs, because Esau, he loves the dogs. So Edomites, they chew all this shit up. Yeah, we need to protect. They, just like with the Ice Age. Oh, yeah. Clean them up. Get them all out of here because they're stupid. So when these things turn around and bite them in the ass, I'm going to be clapping. I don't care if I get locked up in them in the detention center. If I hear these Edomites again, they're going to be in there too. Which is good. That's what they get. Think of the children. Think of the community will overwhelm in privacy concerns you might have. And once a company starts talking that way in public, in advertisements designed to reach millions of people, the internal conversation is already much further along. They've already done the legal review. They've already built the infrastructure. They've already mapped out the next 5 moves. Public messaging is always the last step, not the first. By the time you see the commercial, the decisions have already been made. Woo. Question it now, push back now, demand answers now, because later, once it's normalized, once it's just how things work, you won't be asked, you'll be told, and your doorbell will already be watching. My advice, trash your Ring doorbell now. For advertising, please contact the editor. Whoever wrote this did a good job. This is great. Who wrote this? Doesn't say. Indiana Lang, owner of Impd Audio and AV Integration in Orlando, Florida, brings extensive AV industry experience from inside sales to custom installations. Starting in the field at 17 and writing about HeFi since 2016, he boasts over 25 certifications from top brands and is the current editor-in-chief of HomeTheaterReview.com. I don't think that's who wrote it. But yeah, man. They're watching us, man. else I got? Impd officer under internal review for threatening teen driver post anti-ICE protest in Indianapolis. Yeah, I think they grabbed some teens out of a car and they threatened. Yeah, this is it. This is the Indianapolis Metro IMPD, which is the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department, is facing scrutiny after a video posted on social media showed an officer making a death threat to a 17-year-old black driver during a traffic stop following an anti-ICE protest. Fox 59 reported that an internal review is being conducted by IMPD after the video. Now, this is the fucking. Then you still got to deal with racist ass police officers, which captured the officer's threat. Went viral online. The officer is heard warning a juvenile, "I will fucking kill you. Do you understand me?" During the stop, raising concerns about the conduct and prompting the department to condemn the language as not reflective of their standards. See, these Indianapolis, man, these devils don't need to be any form of. First of all, they're scared of you, and they got the most. They're the one with the gun, the badge. They're the one with all power and authority. They're scared of you. Them niggas done killed everybody. That's why they need to be destroyed. He needs to be arrested. Not because of what he said right here. Ultimately, he's supposed to be like that. You know? You young niggas, man, you about to be going to war anyways. So you get it. Just someone telling you, "I'll fucking kill you," you're going to have people shooting at you pretty soon. In the video, the youth, identified as Trevion Taylor, is heard questioning why he has to exit his vehicle after the officer stated the car smells like weed. Step out of the car. So niggas riding around smoking weed, man. You still, yes, just stupid shit. Something like that can escalate to you getting put to death. You don't think smoking weed has anything, but that can kill you, man. That can kill you. Plus, that shit stinks. So he probably already mad at the fact you attacked his nose with that bullshit you smoking. That shit stinks, man. People who don't smoke don't want to smell. It's a very offensive smell. And you in Indianapolis, man. You don't see what goes on in that place, man. I see all them white boys out there trying to hang you in the woods and shit. There was this black dude. He was going through the woods with his white friends, and they ran into some other some people in the woods, and they started tying him up and literally about to hang him. And he somehow got out of it, but I don't know how. And the dude was like he was kind of soft, like a little sodomite. I think he was like a little sodomite. I don't know, because some people be acting soft and ain't gay, but I think the Lord try to make him man up a little bit. They literally wrapped up a noose and tried to hang him in the woods. Well, anyways, the officer is heard warning a juvenile. Actually, I read that. In the video, the youth, identified as Trevion Taylor, is heard questioning why he has to exit the vehicle after the officer stated the car smells like weed. Step out of the car, according to the Indy Star interview with his mother, Amber Taylor. Amber has accused the IMPD of racial profiling, claiming he's a young black man. You've seen the news 100 times, and firmly stating, "My son will not be a victim." The IMPD had reportedly been monitoring an anti-ICE protest at Warren Central High School when officers observed juvenile male entering a vehicle with a firearm, leading to the traffic stop. The incident escalated from there with the threat caught on camera. So he was already. They said high school. It says the IMPD had reportedly been monitoring an anti-ICE protest at Warren Central High School when officers observed a juvenile male entering a vehicle with a firearm. So that might have not have been him. But, they already, you don't know what the hell's going on. You don't run around smoking weed and shit. Like, that's not the mindset you want to be in when there's a battle going on. All right? Riding around smoking weed in the car. I mean, they're young. They're high school students, man. I used to smoke weed, drive around and shit. you know. But y'all in a different era, man. This ain't the time for that. In Indiana, they clearly they can still, here in Boston, you can't get pulled over for that. They can't use that as a way to search your vehicle. But every state's different. Plus, I want to be smoking that shit anyways because Esau got full control. If Esau's making money over here, he's killing you motherfuckers with that shit. That's what I would believe. Impd released a statement asserting the importance of accountability and indicated the officer was wearing a body camera that recorded the entire incident, according to Fox 59. So he don't give a fuck. Meanwhile, president of the Indianapolis Fraternal Order of Police, Rick Snyder, defended the officer's approach, suggesting that the blunt language was a result of the immediate need for compliance and was preferable to the use of force, as per the same statement obtained by Wish TV. And honestly, given your location, I think you lucked out. You lucked out, man. You know, nobody wants to hear that with a man with a gun, but if the police pull you over, man, the Bible tells you, agree with thy adversary quickly. Let me grab that real quick. Agree with the adversary quickly. Matthew 5:25. You in captivity, my man. Maybe nobody told you that, but yeah, you a slave. Till we get up out of here, man, you better be moving with wisdom. Matthew 5, verse 25. Agree with thine adversary quickly, whilst thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison. Verily I say unto thee, thou shalt by no means come out thence till thou hast paid the uttermost farthing. So you want to agree with your adversary quickly, man. Yes, officer, put your hands up, get out of the car. I don't even ask any questions, man. Just keep it moving. Comply is just whatever. Okay. It says, meanwhile, president of the Indianapolis Fraternal Order of Police, I read that. Despite the officer's body cam footage being under review, the mother of the teenager is demanding the full release of the footage in disciplinary action against the officer, stating in her Indy Star interview, these are kids, and if you can't de-escalate a situation with kids without going to those words first, you shouldn't be a police officer. Well, first of all, your kid, 17 years old, he damn near a grown-ass man. He is a grown-ass man. 17 years old, man, you old enough to get locked up, man. Smarten the hell up. Where's his father at, man? Because women don't show any accountability. He probably needs his ass kicked. Hell out of here. I got a couple more. This is on Bill Gates. Epstein files reveal 2015 email linking Bill Gates, Jeffrey Epstein to global pandemic preparedness conference. Doesn't even say anything. This piece of shit here. He looked like he barely alive, man. Kind of looked like an old Ellen DeGeneres a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if Bill Gates is a full-blown transformer, man. Wouldn't be surprised. It says the Epstein files reveal 2015 email inviting Bill Gates and Jeffrey Epstein to a high-level pandemic preparedness conference in Geneva. While the correspondence shows no wrongdoing, it has renewed scrutiny amid broader debates about the vid. Event 201 in global health governance. It does give me a little bit more. I gotta read this. The recently released Epstein files show an email correspondence with billionaire Bill. How many times are you gonna say that? What's this event 201? This is what I want to look into. What is it? Event 201 was a 3.5-hour pandemic tabletop exercise held on October 18th in 2019 in New York, New York. It was organized by the Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security in collaboration with the World Economic Forum and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. So, you know, this Epstein shit is showing you is deeper than pedophilia and all that shit, man. They're doing sacrifices. They're planning world events. That shit's deep, man. There's different levels to that shit. But in order to be privy to this information, man, you gotta do some strange things for some change. And these devils are willing to pay the price to do it, to sit in those seats. The exercise simulated a hypothetical severe pandemic caused by a novel coronavirus to demonstrate the necessary preparedness, response, and cooperation from global businesses, governments, and public health leaders. So, here you go. And you wonder why Snake be always talking about different pandemics and shit. Oh, then we might be due for another one, and this, that, and the third. It says, the mail appeared to be a preparation based on the previous challenges faced by the international community, Ebola and polio. Margaret Chan, Director General WHO, Peter blah, 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 were part of the conference. The mail was dated June 2nd, 2015. Dear Bill, I hope all is well with you, that you are enjoying the start of summer. On September 11, 12, 2015, will be organized a major international conference in Geneva on preparing for pandemics. Lessons learned for more effective responses. I would be very honored if you could join us on this occasion and deliver the keynote address. Please find attached the invitation as well as a draft agenda and background paper for the event. So, if Epstein want him to go talk at some event, who else is having this nigga talk at TED Talks and shit about different pandemics? He's doing that shit globally too. This is in October 2019. Actually, let me read this. Interestingly, Pirbright Institute of Biological Research, an organization based in Surrey, England, granted patent blah, 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 in November 2018, which covers the development of a weakened form of the virus that could potentially be used as a vaccine to prevent respiratory diseases in birds, including IBV, and other animals, according to the report by USA Today. There have been several conspiracy theories about the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation funding the Pirbright Institute. Foundations have provided 2 grants to Pirbright in 2013 and 2016 for the development of a universal flu vaccine to combat the effects of farm animals and viruses that have the potential to spread to humans, but it denied funding the development of Pirbright's coronavirus vaccine for livestock. Pieces of shit, man. People got to go. In October 2019, just months ahead of COVID-19 outbreak, Johns Hopkins Center for Health and Security, in collaboration with the WEF and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, organized a simulation called Event 201, which modeled an outbreak of a novel zoonotic coronavirus transmitted from bats to pigs to people, just months ahead of the COVID-19 pandemic. In September 2019, the Gates Foundation brought a position in biotech. It invested $55 million in the biotech, with the potential for total funding to reach $100 million. BioNTech, I guess, along with Pfizer, became the first organization to develop an mRNA vaccine for COVID-19. So he's sending these emails in 2015. He's investing in bullshit in 2019, and pandemic comes in 2020. But he ain't getting arrested. Fucking full of shit. The mail doesn't implicate any wrongdoing. Does it? I see plenty of wrongdoing here. But it adds to the pile of circumstantial evidence through its timing and participants that fuels conspiracy theories. See, these people are full of shit, man. These people, man. You know, it's all conspiratorial. Why? Because you say it is? Niggas on the Epstein list. Oh, well, just the timing on it. Nigga was on the Epstein list. Then he went to he was at a, he was chilling. He ain't worried about that. He had his feet kicked up. He was at a tennis game, smiling and shit. I forgot who he was sitting with, but just show you, these devils don't give a fuck about, because who gonna take me, just like it tells you in Obadiah, who's gonna take me down, man? You know? The Lord is. You know? So, it says the mail doesn't implicate any wrongdoing, but it adds to the pile of circumstantial evidence through its timing and participants that fuels conspiracy theories. It has drawn attention that places Epstein in proximity to a global health institution and pandemic preparedness of efforts in the years preceding COVID-19 pandemic. Yeah, everything's just a coincidence, man, with these motherfuckers. Get his hands together. He's devils, man, I'm telling you. What's this? Stephen Miller working closely with Duck allies in the Senate against attempts to rein in ICE. Who cares? What's this? Yeah, I just did that. Yeah, but this devil got a short time, man. He almost out of here. We got to suffer all this, but it's just funny how, you know, the Epstein Files has more than just these weird sex parties, man. These people are talking about pandemics. You know, they're talking a lot of different things, man. They probably thought this was like a secure email line where they can, because they just talking, you know, kind of freely, like a regular email. You know, just casually talking, thinking, hey, ain't no one gonna do anything. And the Lord just, I don't know how the Epstein Files even, they had to have been like a crazy leak. They had to have been a crazy leak for this to come out the way it is. These billionaires to be exposed like this. This is some, hey man, all praises to the Lord for this, man. All praises, exposing these devils. I'm glad he is, man. I hate these niggas. Can't wait to put handcuffs on you motherfuckers, man. Lock y'all up. Put you to work. Get all that chicken, all that, what do you call that? The the meat on the neck. Get all that. You're gonna be working hard, man. Calling you a boy and all that, because that's what you are. Can't wait to get you devils into slavery. But I'm ending here. Lord's will, this was edifying. Shalom.